Alright folks, welcome to another league with black-green Heartless summoning. We tried a league with the Chalice version, it was horrendous. Chalice was just embarrassing, so we're not going to be doing that anymore. So we're going back to this shell, which actually has cheap interaction in post of the games, and it has Grazer as ways to ramp early. Chalice just did not look like it's doing anything of relevance here. But yeah, I expect this list to be a little bit better. Pretty similar to the shell that I was trying out earlier, but I cut the caverns. I just died to my caverns, not tapping for mana way too many times for me to want to be able to be running the risk basically of playing them. So we're trying that. I cut the 4th prime time for the 3rd Grazer, and then in the cyber I added a couple of gargoyles. So we're gonna see how that goes. If you're enjoying the content, for sure, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you there for round number 1. Welcome to round number 1. Sure. Skip this hand. Turn 2 explore. Turn 3 Dryad. These two arts are very, very similar. They have like, you know, like the little light coming in. This one's pretty sick. But those two are dangerously similar. Yo, another Tron player. Imagine not facing Tron in a league. Don't think the 2 points are gonna matter, so I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna play the 2nd Growth Chamber. So if my opponent minuses, at least I get to play Gitrog Monster next turn, if they can't minus, which is totally what's gonna happen. Oh wow, Matter Reshaper? How can I ever beat Matter Reshaper? How can I ever beat Matter Reshaper? I'm not gonna attack as I don't want my opponent to be able to block. Okay, Gargs for Sage trophies. Don't think I want Necromancia. Straw's kind of sweet. So turn 2 summoning, and then we get to go off with Tracker plus Dryad. It's bad that we have to use our fetch line. It would be nice to save it for Tracker, but it's fine. You can also just draw another one. Turn 2 Reshaper. Oops. It's incredible how embarrassing that deck looks sometimes. It's so embarrassing, man. So I'm just gonna crack a clue here. Take 6. When you play Jace Teferi of some kind or draw engine in the 5-color BTL deck? No. Yeah, baby Teferi. Omnath is your draw engine. Got my Dryad. So I guess this works here. We're gonna end up with a bunch of clues. My opponent could have all this dust, but even if they do, they only deal with 3 of my cards. I mean, it would be pretty bad, to be fair. All this dust would be pretty bad for us. So maybe I'm supposed to kill both Matter Reshapers, so I can leave my opponent with no board state. That's probably the line. And we have to make sure that these are the last triggers to resolve, so my opponent does not draw cards. Just scoop. Alright. See you for the next round. What's up? Welcome to another round. I think I'm keeping this. We're very likely playing against the BTL Scapeshift deck. Is it just me or is Ring to Light become really popular? Saw it in a Lurus Control share recently. Yeah, Spike has been working on the like Lurus BTL deck, which is pretty cool. But I mean, it's obviously very, very different than the BTL shell that I've been working on. They're like completely different decks. Okay. We can prime time this coming turn. And if we draw a Dryad, that would be pretty sick. Yep. So he does have the Dryad. I'm feeling pretty dead here. If he's in dead missing land drops, then we're probably super dead. opponent says they're lagging. So we're dead to Scapeshift. So land Scapeshift. It's probably really tough for us to beat land anyway, because they have the Dryad and we have no way to interact with it. So I think I played my land already. I think I'm gonna find peatland, I guess. Valakut peatland. Because with the fetch land that I have in hand, yeah, I think I'm gonna get a peatland. Because we can draw into either Dryad or Dread Presence in order to kill this. What I mean is like BTL is becoming more and more than a fringe card in Div decks. Oh yeah, for sure. Like people are catching on to it. Like I mean, it's obviously because of the Valkyrie interaction, right? Like that's the sole reason. The only reason is specifically because Valkyrie is busted with Mintolite. Yeah. We could do Ghost Squatter. I think I'm gonna do peatland. Yeah, Path for prime time. Oh, Bolt. Omnath. That's a lot worse. Okay. Raminap. Yikes. Well, we can't play Raminap because we have to draw that Dryad and we would shuffle. But he did miss a land drop though. Missing that land drop is obviously huge. And with the Dryad on top, like there's just too much value drawing the Dryad. That's one of the very, very underappreciated things about Courser. Like with fetch lands, it just gives you such great access to the flexibility, right? Like it just gives you so much control over the top of your deck. Sure. So I guess they're hoping to. Oh. Uh-oh. I guess I don't want the Heartless Summoning anymore. So, because now my Dryad doesn't die to... Yeah, this is fine. Oops, should have floated mana. It's fine. I think I'm holding on to Excavator. Nice draw. Nice draw. So we have enough mana to kill another Dryad, which is nice. Enough lands, I mean, not mana. Do I have lethal? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triggers. So I think I have lethal here. Yeah, we do have lethal here. Omnath? Valky. Valky doesn't do it though. Boom. Okay, so we're playing against the Valky deck. We want trophies. We want Thoughtseizes. Do we want Necromantia? We may want Necromantia. We can name Balakut. Trophy. This hand seems bad. This hand seems bad. This hand seems... No, this actually is pretty good. What to ship is interesting. Is Necromantia average investment more side? Probably. So I guess we need to send both of these. I'm gonna Thoughtseize them on turn 2 right before I play the Rot Farm. Because I don't think there's anything. I guess Ren is maybe a card that I wish I would. Yeah, maybe Ren is a potentially problematic card that I may have wished I had Thoughtseized. Yep. I guess I have trophies, so it's not that terrible. They drew dry. I am so ready. I am so ready for my opponent to have top decked Omnath or Bring to Light. Oh, okay. Foothills Misty. So they have one unknown card. Uh-oh. They top deck Bring to Light, didn't they? Oh man, that is so funny. That is very, very funny. If they could have stacked their deck, that is exactly what they would have done. If they could have stacked their deck, that is exactly how they would have stacked it. Sure, I'm gonna keep this one. Send the Ramin up, I think. Even the Explorer was necessary to make the leaf. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was exactly like that sequence is exactly the best possible sequence that could have happened, bar none. Also, I left the peat land. That was bad. Should have not left the peat land. I took a point of damage for no reason there. Why can't I draw as well as my opponent does? Kind of unfortunate. I'm probably gonna Necromancia, Bring to Light. Cycle into this. Nah. No, I think this is fine. There's one unknown card. There's one unknown card there. One unknown card. I can't believe it, man. This is ridiculous. This is insane. He had the perfect draw step every single one. He had the perfect draw step every single time. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. I have no draw steps, that's it. Even a removal spell doesn't do anything anymore. Like, removal spell for this doesn't do anything because they have Bring to Light, so... That was incredible! That was insane! Alright, I guess we lose. See you for the next round. Alright, thank you. Welcome to... I'm completely blown away after the previous round. Welcome to round number, whatever this round is. Hand seems kind of okay. I will say, like, if you could have stacked your deck, you could have drawn exactly the sequence of cards that you drew. Or you should have drawn exactly the sequence of cards that you drew. I'm fetching now so I can play... next turn I can play Raminap into make my land drop. That was absolutely insane. Veil is pretty good. And we have perfect information. That is the funniest thing. It's just like, we know you don't have Veil, but then you stop deck it. so now you do. So this doesn't give you protection for bullshit, that's true. Baby Tef? Sure. I guess I don't want to fetch, because if I draw a land, I get to kill this Renin 6. Heartless summoning. That's pretty sick, actually. So I guess that it's better for me to go play a Raminap, fetch, find a green source, play Dryad, play this, fetch, find like another forest, play this, ping, fetch, Overgrown Tomb, ping, explore, land, ping, say go. Not bad. What do we got here? Wrath. Omnath. Omnath we can beat. I think what follows Sam GG Gif. Gif. One, two, three, four. Fetch. Swamp. Gitrog. Land. Fetch. Draw. Forest. Face. Land. Face. Fetch. Draw. Swamp. That Atlas summoning draw is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So we're playing against probably just Yorion. Yorion Scapeshift, no Scapeshift. Get these Gracers out of here. Maybe we won trophy. Maybe we would guard Wrath. That's one of the coolest line I've ever seen. It was pretty solid. I feel like that is what the people call turn the corner, you know? Yeah, it's Niv. That's what I said. I thought I think I said Scapeshift, but like obviously that's wrong. No, I'm thinking this is Niv. There's no way this hand works. Acoustic Chair, I think I'll follow. So the best draw would be Explore into land. I have to channel my inner soul strong, and I have to find Explore into bounce land. Adriano, help me out here. Help me out here. Give me that. Explore into bounce land. How do you do it? How do you do it? Teach me. Teach me your ways. Explore into bounce land. It's not it. I'm not that good. Not that good. I didn't complain enough. Oh man. Such a rookie mistake to not complain enough. Here's a tracker. Guile. Boy, it sure would be awesome to hit land drops. There's something about hitting land drops. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. So you assume we're probably dead here? I guess if this Dryad somehow survives, we have a shot, and we draw land. We have to draw land too. But if all of those things happen, we're gonna be in good shape. Just gonna get nived here. Get nived. Hardcast Valky? Oh no, Niv. Yeah. Sad face. Sad face. Let's just pack it. Could play Gargoyle. If my opponent has an active Valky, we're now winning. I think this is fine. Maybe Dread Presence is just bad. Should have something else. I mean, it is pretty bad. Gitrog is pretty fine. This has felt like the worst card in the deck. But at the same time, like, it's not horrible. It's just a little bit harder to, like, you can't draw it reliably, so it makes things a little bit harder. Gonna Thoughtseize on 2. We may get blown out by Veil, but nice. Easiest run in 6 of my life. That looks beatable. I was gonna push right now in case we find an untapped land. Land. Okay. That place. And now we finally get to do this. Yes, yes. Yes. Everything is going according to plan. Thoughtseize, nice. Yes, yes. Everything is going according to plan. Everything is going according to plan. Sweet. See you for the next round. Welcome to round number 3. I'm not shipping this hand, baby. Would love to see some bounce land action. Oh, Alpinko, thank you. Thank you for the raid. GG's. We're playing a nice little meme deck over here. Having a good time, having some fun. It's been cool. How was your stream? Okay, so this is just Heliod with a bad hand. No notification for the resub. Did you click the button, Tom? Because you gotta click the button, otherwise this is silly. Well, not like there's anything I can do about this. Even a Summoner's Pact instead of any of these prime times would have been great, because it allows me to go get Raminap, and then Raminap with the fetch line would have been very, very good. But never lucky. Never lucky. Ranger Captain. For Walking Ballista. Okay, so if they have a land, they're gonna win next turn. So I guess we get to draw 2 if I play the tracker here. So that seems worth it. And again, we're trying to find lands. It means that I don't get to cast Titan this turn. But I think that this is the less likely to lose line, I guess, the way to put it. Should probably keep suiting up this thing with the Heliod trigger. Land, please. I gave myself the best shot at getting there. I'm not going to do the land, of course. I fucking hate this deck so much. Like, this deck's existence is just, it just makes me so miserable. I despise it with a passion. I despise it with a passion. Word? Yeah, word. Indeed. Indeed. That's probably the thing that has me the most excited about going back to playing paper events, is the fact that they will have to ban something from the Heliod deck. Like, there's just no way around it. They will have to ban something from it. I would be very, very surprised if they didn't ban something from the Heliod deck after we go back to paper Magic. It's just so irritating how they just mindlessly win. They just mindlessly win. They just like randomly stumble upon a win. Like, it's just because of how their deck is built. It just doesn't matter. If you're not building your entire sideboard, like even I have like a bunch of removal spells, but like I have to keep this hand. I'm not gonna ship this hand, and like I didn't draw the cards that I needed, and now it's just like, well, I mean, I'm dead next turn. There's nothing I can do. I can't interact with this card. I have to be playing fucking cards like Mystic Repeal. That's how I interact with this nonsense. It's just not reasonable. It's just not reasonable in my opinion. Who am I to say though? Yeah, but like you're playing Dayside in your sideboard now. You see what I'm saying? Even back in the Twin days, the cards that people were playing were Abrupt Decay. You know, like Abrupt Decay was your anti-twin kind of tech. So Abrupt Decay is a fine card. You would bring it in like against John or like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not just that you straight up are putting this card in your sideboard specifically for the twin matchup and not for any. You would not bring it in against any other deck. It's just you're forcing people to play Dayside in their sideboard. We get to back for Dryad here at least. I guess it's better. Oh no, it's better to do this because it's actually just lethal. I honestly think that Heliod right now is better than Twin was in its prime. Or else think of the follow. And I played a lot of Magic during Twins during the best time for Twin. And I think that Heliod right now it's better in comparison with the rest of the format, you know? Complain just enough and I lived. Yeah, that's the strat. That's the strategy I'm going for. I'm going for the complaint value. Not even sure that that is the correct play here. I think it is because I have trophy, but Okay. I think Heliod pushes out a lot of decks, which makes it pretty toxic. For the firm event, those decks have ways to beat Infinite Life. But it has the same problem as Twin, right? For example, I cannot develop my game plan here. Obviously, it would be a lot better for me to play Courser, right? But I can't. I literally can't because I just die to their combo. Serrano Skates player that might face a Heliod too bad, but it's never a fun time. I'm not talking about... Like, obviously, it's going to have bad matchups. Twin also had bad matchups back in its day. But it's not about that. It's about how toxic it is for the rest of the format. But like right now, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just like play Courser? I ignore that. I just die to my opponent's Infinite Life. Am I supposed to just pact for Dryad? Then I'm time walking myself on the following turn. Like, even if I do have the trophy, okay? Even if I do have the answers for my opponent's combo, like what next? Like, they just combo again next turn. What am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do here? And imagine if I hadn't killed the Arbor Elf on turn 1. They would have had 4 mana on turn 2. What am I doing here? You know? It's just ridiculous. I think I just have to play my Courser, and I'm just going to lose when my opponent combos off. Because it's just so likely for them to be able to combo off here. But I cannot win otherwise. Like, the alternative line that allows me to not lose means that I just lose later. Like, it just sets me so far behind that I cannot come back from it. There it is. Cool. We lost. Nothing we could have done. Literally nothing I could have done. Fuck me, man. I hate this deck. Like, the more time that goes by, the more and more that I hate this deck. I just think that this is just so bad for the format. It's just so miserable. I really hope that something gets done about it. And the fact that it's so good, even in the context and with the limitations of online Magic. Like, imagine this in paper. Like, it's gonna be ridiculous in paper. I think it's gonna be like 30% of the format. Anyway, see you for the next round. All right, here we are for the last round. Playing against Pinips. Often play Death and Taxes. There's zombies behind me, yeah. Yeah, I know, Fisher, but it's just like... It's just fine. Yeah, it would have surprised me if Pinips were not playing some sort of either Vile Taxes deck. It's times like this when I wish they could nerf cards like Create Edge of the game. Yeah. It would be nice, I think. Interesting that they didn't GQ there. Astrophy and a turn for Eldrazi Temple is too bad. Yes, it is, but they have an active vial. Second Arbiter. That sucks. Tribute to the Wildy Glamour can make it into the sideboard. No, I don't think so. Like it could, but it doesn't mean that it's a good idea. I think I'm just gonna trophy the vial. There's something a bit for killing the Displacer there, but if they don't have mana, the Displacer doesn't scare me too much, and if they don't use their mana, that's also pretty good for me. I imagine they're gonna kill the Courser here. They go for the Dryad. Okay. Is Dayside the best cyber option against Heliod? I don't know. Probably. We're pretty close to be able to pact for... That's kind of scary, actually. We're at 27, though. But this is kind of scary. Wisp. I don't think I can afford to miss the land drop there. Now we can track her. Play the land. That's another draw of Beatrog. If we wanted to. The attack with Gitrog doesn't do anything, right? They just block with Skyclave and they blink it, so attacking with Gitrog doesn't really achieve too much. They are playing Strangler. That is disgusting. We do have a free block here, at least. We're gonna pact for Dryad here. Because it at least answers the Eldrazi Displacer, which is owning me here. If they have Path to Exile, I think we lose. But barring Path to Exile, they have one card left in hand, by the way. Barring Path to Exile, I think that we should be able to win. Attempt to blink the Wisp. Kill Wisp. Blinker solves, gain life. Kill that thing. Kill this thing, and now it's just the... Now the House of Cards falls apart. That was a really good showing for Heartless summoning. That was a really good Heartless summoning, I'll tell you. Fatal Push in Summoner's Backs. One Tracker, one Force, one Sage, one Explosives. I don't think I want Gargs. Just went Scarface on them. Yeah, that was a plan. That was the plan. That was a really good showing from Heartless summoning. Also great showing for Courser. And obviously Dryad is broken. Turn 2 summoning. Turn 3 Dread Presence. Plus Ghost Quarter. You love to see it. You're gonna play the Mana Trader series so you can queue and get the time wrong. Sounds like a good line, Freed. I think I'm going to. Let's do that. Wonder if they're tapping out to kill the summoning here. Yep. But now if we find a land, so we can trophy the courtyard or the ghost quarter. Split up the ghost quarter. Then push that thing. Yep. Yep. I just don't think I'm gonna have enough time here. So we're gonna take 7. Assuming my opponent has nothing, we just lose anyway. Tough stuff. Tough stuff. This deck is guaranteed 3-2 every time. Strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. I think I'm playing the Rod Farm. Seeing if they have Arbiter, they can GQ me, and then what I can do is I can play Dryad into Verdant Catacombs and push main phase. TKS. Okay. What is this? Oh no, Stab Stonated. Wow. Stabs donated. Thank you so much for the dono, Stabs. I imagine that you're gonna make me miserable like you always do, which I thoroughly enjoy. I am ready for you to shoot me a very, very shitty deck list that I'm going to 2-3 at best with. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun Thursday. Definitely gonna be a fun Thursday. Think you like what I came up with? I work on it tomorrow. The troll is strong within you, my friend. The troll is strong. So Violent 3 is very, very scary because Flicker Wisp. That's a nice draw though. That's a nice draw because that forces the issue. And then I have a fetch land. So I'm forcing 2 layers of interaction for my opponent to be able to save their Thought Knot. Which apparently they do have 2 layers of interaction. That's cool. Serve. Let's draw a card. All right, looking good. Looking pretty good. In before Damnation, am I right? They flicker Wisp on Displacer, cast Damnation. Displacer comes back on end step. Easy. Easy game, easy life. Okay. Okay, the Vial went up to 4, so I have to assume that there's another Thought Knot coming my way. Luckily, my hand sucks, which is awesome. So they have to like displace me right now. They don't, which means that I'm gonna get to kill this Displacer, which is obviously great. They can blink the Wisp in response, but then I just kill the Wisp. We 3-2 baby. Let's go. Let's go. The last version that I played definitely felt like far and away the best one. The Chalice one was just terrible. It was very, very bad. So the worst card in the deck has felt like the Dread Presence, so I kind of want to cut these. It had a couple of situations where it was pretty neat, actually, like when it allowed me to draw a couple of cards. I can't remember against who it was, but just being able to like play Dread Presence and just, thanks to the Urborgs, just do some nasty stuff was pretty nice. Also, the good thing by cutting the Dread Presence is that we get to cut the Urborgs, which is pretty sweet because we get to play some other either utility lands, or we can just play, you know, more fetchables or more fetch lands, which is something that I wanted to do anyway. So that gives us more flexibility, which is nice. Which lands would I play? I kind of want to play 29. Has felt like a solid amount of lands. Like I did miss my land drops fairly often, so obviously it's not free. Why is Fountain and Astro? Wouldn't you be able to do the same just with a bounce land you had in hand? I mean, it was nothing, right? Like it was just a land. That's what I was saying. So when the Vial went up to 4, I was excited that I, you know, drew nothing because it made my opponent's Thought Knots worse. Which land would I want to play here? Battlement was super medium too. It's another thing to keep in mind. Those are probably the creatures that I would play. We could play a second Ghost Quarter and potentially another basic. Stomping Ground is also interesting over Gemstone Mine, because it's a red source that we can fetch for. Maybe just one more fetch and just 7 fetch lands. No, I don't think that you... The issue with Conley is that we don't have any way for our lands to be untapped, right? So having untapped lands is a huge cost. Like it really messes with your sequencing. So we already have, like, this is 22 lands that enter untapped. Like we don't even have that many, right? For a deck like this that wants to be playing on curve. So I think this is where I want to be. Maybe a third copy of Courser. Courser looked fairly good in every single match that we played. Another Elder Garg. Yeah, this felt like the best one of them all. Pantherian, I think I would follow. This just felt like the best version of the deck that we played today, so... this is where I would go next time if I wanted to come back to this deck. Like, it was fun. Like, it was not terrible. It was just, you know, we just got paired against Heliod a couple of times and it felt like we had no shot ever winning that matchup. So the fact that, you know, this deck is basically pushed from Modern solely because it really struggles against Heliod and there's kind of nothing we can realistically do. So, like, we could play more Necromancias, we can play, but even like Necromancia was not great, right? Like it's really hard for us to cast this on turn 2, and like your opponent just casts Heliod on turn 2 more reliably than you can Necromancia on turn 2. So at that point, you're just hoping that they don't play Heliod on 2, and once they play Heliod, you're just, that's what it is. Like you're just dead. So what was the card that I said earlier? It was Mystic something. Mystic. The 1-mana instant that shuffles in the graveyard, so we're probably forced to play something like that. This one, Mystic Repeal. So we're probably forced to play something like this, which is obviously awful, but it is what it is. Like we just have to, because we lose to Heliod otherwise, because that deck is messed up. But yeah. This was fun. This was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Leave me a comment below, and bye-bye.